Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of AB in the Films. You notice I'm probably in the same location. I'm wearing the same shirt because I'm shooting this right after the Mockingjay review. Okay, Horrible Bosses 2. Here we go. I liked it. I do. It's very rare when I actually say on the show that I hate a movie. That's happened a few times on this show where I hate a movie or where I really loathe a movie. I've never said I didn't like this movie. I don't think I've ever said... I've said that maybe once or twice, but for the most part, I usually like every movie that comes out. Even my sister, my sister always tells me that. She always says, you like every freaking movie that comes out. When are you going to hate a movie? I'm like, well, there are some good things in a lot of movies that can be liked. And this movie is no exception. All I can say is this. This is the first time in my life, ever, where I liked Chris Pine. and I hate to say this. I got nothing against Chris Pine. I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything, but the movie roles he's picked in the last 10 years, 10 plus years, maybe you could count Star Trek. I don't know. Maybe you could count that. For me, as hokey as the acting is, that will always belong to Shatner, and I'm not saying Shatner was any good when he was on Star Trek as an actor. I'm not saying that. But this was the first time when I saw Chris Pine in a role where it looked like he was having fun. You can tell he's having fun in this role as the bad guy. This was interesting. So here we go. So, it's 3 years later after the first movie, and the first movie, if you've seen my show before, you know I love the first movie. It's number 19. I did a top 20 favorite films list, like 2.5 years ago, and I said that this movie, Horrible Bosses 1, was number 19, I think, on my list of my favorite movies of all time. And it is. It is. It was a good idea. It was a good idea, unique idea, people killing their bosses. Well, maybe it's been done before in some stuff, but this was an interesting movie. It was funny. I liked the characters. It got me watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, thanks to Charlie Day. So I thank the movie for that, big time. So now we have the sequel, and I really didn't think there was going to be a sequel to this movie. It did okay, but it's interesting. I heard they were going to make this movie back in early 2013, like a script was in the works or something. So I got hyped. I got excited. I really got excited to see what this was going to do. And so when I finally saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be any good. But you know what? I'll go see it. I like the first movie. I'll go see it. And I went, and I liked it. Not as funny, not as good as the first one, but it's still funny. There's a lot of funny moments. It's not Hangover Part 2, per se. It's not a carbon cutout. It's a cardboard cutout of the first one. So, it's not Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and it's not Hangover Part 2, but it's like... It's hard to explain. It's like... Perfect explanation. It's like Hangover Part 3, but with funny jokes. And here's the thing, I like The Hangover Part 3. I think The Hangover Part 3 was hilarious. I liked it, but these jokes are a lot funnier. The Horrible Bosses 2, obviously, it's a lot funnier. They went in a different direction. They did do some of the same stuff from the first one, but not entirely. Like I said, it's not a cardboard cutout. And it does get a little bit smarter in this, and what I mean by that is there are a couple of scenes where you think they're gonna mess up in a situation that they messed up in the last movie, but they learn from their mistakes that they learned from in the last one, and they try to use it in this movie, but they put a new spin on it or a new twist on it, and there's a funny outcome. And a good example of that is at the end of the movie where basically, the ending of this movie is the same ending as the last movie in a nutshell. And Jason Sudeikis has, like, one of those recorders, and that doesn't work, even though they tried recording it in the first one, on the car's recording or something. So that was kind of funny. I like that. Yeah. Django and Dr. Schultz are connected together again in this movie. I was wishing that they would, like, make fun of that. Like, at least Jamie and Christoph would have a scene together. They don't even have a scene together. And I thought maybe they would poke fun at that. Because that's what you're thinking. when you see the ads for this movie. But no, they don't have a scene. Christoph Waltz is a waste in this movie. He's too talented of an actor, in my opinion, to be in this. And you know, there's very little to his character in this movie at all. I mean, he's only in this movie for maybe 4 scenes in the film, and then that's it. Like, maybe 4 or 5, and that's basically it. Chris Pine is the bad guy here. It's not really Christoph Waltz. I mean, Chris Pine is the guy. Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis are still funny. They're still hilarious. I still love the things that they're doing. The one thing that really was kind of like it made me look at the movie and I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, are you really doing that? Like, did you really think we forgot about that joke? But I still laughed. They did that, like, do you remember in the Austin Powers movies, in the sequels, they had that, you know, those jokes about, like it looked like Mike Myers had, like, body parts, you know, on the shadow walls and stuff. They did this in, like, the first 10 minutes of the movie when they're on Good Morning America promoting their new invention. They're entrepreneurs now. And I saw that joke, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've seen the Austin Powers movies when that joke comes up. But it was still kind of funny, and I'm like, but it was still good. So basically in this movie, yeah, I'm sorry, I've ranted a long time about what I think of this movie. Here comes the plot. The 3 guys are now entrepreneurs, and they've promoted a new invention called the Shower Buddy. And Chris Pine and Christoph Waltz see money in it, and they invest a lot of money, and they make a huge order for them. And so they make all these, so they make the order, and then they hand it over to Christoph Waltz, and he says, we're going to have to cancel that. We have someone else that has a better product, similar to yours, but it's better, and we're going to go with them instead. Well, now these guys are screwed, because now they don't have the money, they don't have they're going to lose their company. What are they going to do? Not murder their bosses, because we did that 3 years ago. Now they're going to do a kidnapping, or kidnaping, as you've all seen in the trailers. And it just goes from there. It's the same thing as the first one, and they repeat it over and over again. We're not murderers. We're terrible at this crime stuff. Shit we've seen in the first one. It has a lot of good jokes. Not as funny as the first one, though. It's still funny. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but it's not. It's still pretty good. I can't recall one person saying this movie sucked. I mean, like, basically, if you didn't like the first Horrible Bosses, you're not gonna like this one. It's not gonna swing you. But if you like the first one like I did, I mean, I loved the first one. If you like the first one, you'll get into this one, I think. I think you'll like it okay. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston, once again, she throws herself into the role, but it's really upped big time in this. They didn't even really need her in this movie. I mean, like, I was kind of shocked when I saw the cast list, and I saw that Kevin Spacey and Jennifer Aniston were coming back in this one, and I'm like, what? We took care of those guys. I mean, you know, Kevin Spacey's in jail, and Charlie Day told Jennifer Aniston to fuck off. So I don't know why they would come. Why would they come back? It was a good send off. Leave it at that. But no, they come back and they have a few scenes here and there, and it's for what it is, it's okay, I guess. It gets a few laughs, I guess. I don't really remember laughing when they were on. I'm having a tough time remembering a few lines from this because I saw this last weekend. But I remember thoroughly liking it and enjoying it, and I think you guys will too. If you guys like the first Horrible Bosses, you'll like this one, I think. Yeah, that's my review of Horrible Bosses 2. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about it. If you guys watch this show at all, and I'll see you guys in the next review, whenever that is. Later.